Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG Auto Group, and by Bob and Cindy's Cotman Transmissions. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Palach.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I am your host, Dave Palach, and it's another glorious week. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey.
Hey.
That's what's going on. Hey.
I am hanging out with Rockin' Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. So I got an interesting one for you. I have little rants and raves every once in a while.
Every week, something new.
Have you gone through the drive-thru lately? Anybody out there gone through the drive-thru lately? Hey, and if you're paying attention and check us out on Facebook Live, click in. You can actually watch the show. So, have you gone through the drive-thru lately?
I don't go through drive-thrus.
You don't? You walk in?
I walk in.
For any particular reason?
Because every time I go through a drive-thru, I get the wrong stuff.
Oh, so you got the
Joe
Pesci moments?
I got tired of it, so I just go in.
Okay.
I can watch them put it in the bag.
Okay. Well, here's my rant and my rave. So I don't go drive-thrus all that often, but when I do, I've noticed some new things that are happening. First of all, I tried to stop last night and I was stuck forever in the drive-thru, like 45 minutes, and I couldn't. The way it's designed, I couldn't get out of line because the way you're just stuck.
Yeah, there's a curb or something.
Right.
There.
No car. The cars in front of you aren't moving, and so I was just stuck, which was no big deal. I realize that sometimes things don't go as normal as they're supposed to, so. You roll with it. Nothing gets me upset that much. But I was at the drive-thru 2 different times now within the last week, and I've had weird responses from them. Like, if you put in your order, and I'm one of those people, I'm sorry, I'm going to admit to it now, that there's certain things I just don't like. So I asked them to omit things off of, like, certain sandwiches and stuff like that. So one of the times that we went, it was the response was, "What about it?" I know you're looking at me, but that was it.
That's a response to hold the mayo or something like that.
What about it? I'm like, yeah, I want such and such. Let's just say, for instance, hold the mayo, and they're like, "What about it?" I didn't know what to respond. I had no idea how to respond. What about it?
Repeat yourself. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I did, and I got the same response. What about it?
And I would have repeated it again until I would have just kept going. That's just me.
And then the one I just got today was, "Yep, okay." Yep. And then it went silent. So I was like, usually you get like your total, but it was like, "I want to have I want a cheeseburger." "Yep, okay." And then it was silent, and I was, I had something else I needed to order, so I found myself having to go like, "Hello, is there anybody still there? Hello?" So I don't know. Things are changing.
Now you know why I don't go. That's all those reasons combined is why I don't go through the drive-thru anymore.
I hear all the horror stories. You guys send me funny stories all the time that I get that people have in the drive-thru and stuff. And I see some of my best bumper bullies in drive-thrus. As I'm in the drive-thru, I always read people's bumper stickers. If you don't know what bumper bullies are, it's the section where we have, and people send us bumper stickers that are funny or obnoxious or whatever they may be, and we pick the best ones and read them. We haven't done one in a little while, but
that's because you're close and you have time to read.
Right. Yeah, you got nothing else to do but read. So yeah, it's pretty funny. But no, it's just one of the things I happen to notice that the drive-thru has gone completely crazy, absolutely crazy.
I don't think that's new.
You don't think it's new?
I've been experiencing it forever, and that's why I don't.
If you guys are tuning in on Facebook Live, we are experiencing technical difficulties right now with Facebook. We're trying to get that fixed, and we're totally sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Cameron chiming in.
Sometimes Facebook has a life of its own.
It does. Yeah, a mind of its own, too.
I've seen no pictures on mine for the last 3 days, and this morning I get pictures.
I noticed I don't use it regularly other than just to communicate with people for the show and stuff like that. I don't post a whole lot of personal things on there. But it suits really well for us for the show because a lot of viewers like to go back and listen later on, which is the reason why we do it for you guys, because I realize that not everybody can tune into the show on a Saturday. So people go back and they watch later when they have time. So it's been pretty cool. But yeah, it definitely has a mind of its own sometimes.
It does. And you hear complaints about it quite frequently.
You do. So here's something kind of cool. Do you guys remember the conversation that we had where we were talking about all the different things that were going on with cars versus trucks and people trading and people wanting trucks more than cars? And, we've talked about it a couple of different times over the last couple of months.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I remember.
Well, there was actually a study that was done, and it's actually a report that came out this week. It's kind of interesting. So it basically rates on customer loyalty. And you've heard me say 1,000 times, and I hate it, but the loyalty as far as certain models people love, and they just keep them forever. So when people have asked us, well, if you were going to buy a car for your kid, what kind of car would you buy? And I usually give an answer that starts a debate after the show because I get texts or emails and people are like, oh, I can't believe you said that, and I can't believe you said this. And because I always say, if I was going to purchase and it was my money, it would be a Toyota or a Honda for my child. I mean, that's what I would purchase because the longevity of the car. You can literally buy the car for them in high school, and they can take it through college for the most part and never have any problems.
Yep, you've gone over the reasons.
I have. So it's funny because the report came out this week. What do you think the most loyal people are as far as car manufacturers?
Toyota and Honda.
Toyota and Honda's one of them. There's a third one.
Volvo.
See, I would have thought Volvo because you've heard me say before, Volvo are a special kind of breed of people. There's people who buy Volvos and they swear by Volvos and they're only going to have Volvos. That's just what they're going to have. And I've met a lot of them in my time, so I know that there's. And then you have the Saab people. There's Saab or people are committed to their Saabs.
I've met some.
So I really thought Volvo would be the third pick. The top three guys, the top three that I actually thought was kind of funny is Toyota, Honda, Subaru.
Subaru.
And Subaru's actually, believe it or not, in the number 2 spot. It's not in the third, even though I announced it third. It's in the number 2 spot.
Who's won? Toyota?
Toyota was first. I believe Honda was second. Honda was third.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't have picked Subaru. But I know a lot of folks that have Subarus, and they swear by them.
Everybody that I know that has, I don't know a lot of Subaru people, but the people that I do know that have Subaru have had them forever. I mean, and they plan on buying another one. Mm-hmm. So now my sister wanted a Subaru at one time. I remember she wanted the Subaru, the Legacy Wagon, I think was what she wanted.
My next door neighbor had one. I think he had it for about 10 years.
They run. I mean, if you look out there, you see a lot of them still run. I had a customer years ago that had the Legacy Wagon. It had like 429,000 miles on it. It was still running like a clock.
My kind of car.
Now, granted, she put some money into it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she definitely put some money into it, guys. So it's not like it was, all for nothing. I mean, she came to us a couple different times. I think I put full shocks on it. I think I put 2 exhaust systems on the car while we were servicing 2 different times within like a 6-year span. So, and that was before they make them as nice as they make them now. Back when exhaust systems were just throw them away.
I remember well.
Yeah, put one on for a year, and next year you're buying another one, depending on where you lived at.
Yep.
But she ran it for a while. But I've told you, I've seen Toyotas come in with 600,000 miles on a Toyota.
Oh, I've heard lots of stories about that.
Still running good. I've seen a lot of Hondas out there within the 400,000 mark. So that's the reason why I picked those. So the reports actually goes in depth a little bit more, which I thought was really, really interesting. People who buy SUVs, can you guess the percentage of how many people continue to buy an SUV?
60%.
No, 75% tend to keep their SUVs. They trade an SUV in and buy another SUV. Now it's kind of interesting because you have 37% of the people, upper class people. It's actually gone down or buying. Stop. They're at 30. They used to be double that. It's now at 37% for buying luxury cars. Where do you think the luxury car buyer is going?
No
We
idea.
talked about this before. I told you this was going to happen.
Oh, pickup trucks.
Pickup trucks. Believe it or not, people that have luxury cars are actually converting over to pickup trucks. Because pickup trucks, as I've said, if you buy all the bells and whistles on it, are nice. We talked about this a couple weeks back, but now there's actually numbers. And I told you I just had saw some things, I'd read some things, it looks like that's the direction I was going to, and sure enough, here are the numbers. 74% of people opt to buy a truck and then trade it in and buy another truck. 74%. That's a strong number.
Yeah, but it's, what's that old saying? It's not your grandfather's pickup truck anymore.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. And like I said, they did that whole study with pickup trucks where they swapped the people out and gave them trucks and stuff, and people really realized just how much they enjoy a truck because it's so nice on the inside and the capabilities of it all. You have everything all in one little package. Really, it's with the 4-door truck, as you explained a couple weeks ago when we were talking about it. Now with the 4-door truck, it's not really a pickup truck anymore.
I know how nice they can be. I've seen yours.
Shh, don't tell nobody. Now, if you guys are trying to figure out how these numbers are, let me give you an idea. So they did this study from 2007 to 2017. 13.9 million transactions is what they followed to get those numbers. Just to see how many people had a car and they got rid of their car and got a truck, or how many people had a truck and opted to buy another truck. And the last one was the SUV, as far as people actually going and trading for the SUV and keeping an SUV. They followed 13.9 million transactions to come up with those numbers.
Computer had to do that.
Oh, I know. Somebody sat there with a pencil there, like writing it down.
Well, that's the picture I got in my head.
I know it was. I can tell by the look on your face. They can't see it, but I can. Yeah, people are just sitting there handwriting it all by hand.
I mean, that's big numbers, but I'm sure somebody's paying for those numbers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Somebody absolutely is paying off for that. But
then you see the trends change in manufacturing, do you not?
You are. So you see a lot of different things. So we talked about it. Was it last week? And I saw something else come out about it this week about the trucks and how everybody's trying to change. And you guys have even heard me. And I'm a Chevy guy through and through. If you guys ever pay attention to the show, what I'm wearing, usually I'm wearing something that's Chevy related because I love my Chevy truck. And I'm not paid yet to promote my Chevy truck, but
you should be.
But I should be as much as I talk about it. But I'm just a Chevy guy. I have been. And to the Ford guys, I love you. I call you my manufacturer challenged friends for anybody that doesn't drive a Chevy, and that's okay. You can be challenged. I love you the same. But I did Ford for a while, and so I can talk from experience. And I got a buddy you've heard me talk about my buddy Dan, who swears by Dodge. He eats, sleeps, and breathes Dodge, but he's always working on his Dodge. So I love him, but.
Well, they're Ford guys. They're just as loyal.
Oh, they are. Like I did Fords for a while. We talked about this
I know,
earlier in the years of the show.
I know many people. That's their brand, and they won't buy anything but.
Oh, I get in heavy debates with them all the time, every week, because I told you guys I belong to a lot of different forums, and I blog. We talk about things all the time, and about the different manufacturers, and I can hold a conversation for 10 hours about why I believe my Chevy's better, but.
Well, you like what you like.
But here's the thing. It's no different. So I always end it with, especially when because some people are good about it. You can talk back and forth with your friends or people you don't even know, which for me, it's a lot of listeners and stuff. We just talk back and forth, throughout the week on some of the different forum sites. And, they all know that we have the show and a lot of the listen and stuff like that. So they gig at me for my Chevy and I gig back at them for, their Ford. But the reality of it is it's no different than war. If you're in Russia and you're in a war with the U.S. and you ask a Russian kid who's the bad guy,
Us.
Okay? And if you're in USA and you ask the USA person who's the bad guy,
them.
Right. So it doesn't, there is no winner in this.
It's a matter of perspective.
It's a matter of perspective and what side of the line you're on. And I don't know, I poke because I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I love to poke other manufacturer brand loyal people because I get a kick out of it.
You like to stir the pot.
I do like to stir the pot. I definitely do. I very much enjoy stirring the pot. And it makes for fun conversation for me. And like I said, all the stuff that I kind of stir the pot with translates back into the show. It always comes back around to the show somehow, which is good for me. It works out easy. Makes the show easier, guys. Hey, on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to get into some more news. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national strength of Napa. Nationwide warranties honored by thousands of locations. That's Napa know-how. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is independently owned and operated by neighborhood professionals who operate by a written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians who will greet you with a smile you can trust. Visit us today.
You heard me say it, and now here's your chance. Now's the time to go find your auto garage. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to NapaBDGHRVA.com and find your all-star car care center today. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Palach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating, and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated. Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. Hey, so if you guys are with us before we went to commercial break, we were talking about all the different crazy numbers and stuff like that for brand loyalty. So if you're out there and you're looking for a new car, I'm just saying, you might want to buy a Chevy. Is that what you took away from that?
Would you say Subaru was one of those?
That's what I took away from it. No, seriously.
I don't see you wearing a Subaru shirt.
Nope. Definitely not Subaru. Definitely not Subaru shirt. Hey, I got nothing against Subaru. Like I said, if you're manufacturally challenged, I still love you. It's okay. Hey, so Lego's back in the news. This is actually pretty cool. If you guys haven't got a chance to check it out, go look at the Lego little mini movie they did. It's actually pretty neat. So they're releasing the 2 new Lego Porsches. And if you guys ever wonder why I'm so into Legos, and the reason why I talk about Legos so much is because I truly believe, and you guys will hear me, I sign off the end of the show the same way every week, and I tell you to go spend some time with your family, turn off the TV. Legos is one way to do it, especially if it's car related. I'm all over it. Like if you got a car and it's Legos, what better time to spend time with your kids but put a Lego car together? I mean, really, that's the reason why you guys hear me talk about it. So they have this little video movie they did, and they put some time into it. And it's the 2 Porsche Legos. The Porsche Museum is like where they're at, and it closes down, all the lights dim down. And then the 2 drivers are standing outside of the Lego guys, are standing outside their Lego Porsches. And they jump in it and they start driving through the museum. And at the end, they end up next to the real life version of what they are each. One's a green one and one's the white racing edition. And they end up parked right next to both of their real live versions of them, which is kind of cool. And it's
I got to go see that. That sounds pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. And then so the video ends at the very end where there's a Lego driver sitting on the seat of the real car that's his car. And the kid's looking in through the window, looking at the car, and you see the little Lego guy with his hands in the driving position, sitting on the big, huge seat because it's just a little Lego guy, and then it just fades away. So it's very, very clever. Like I said, if you ever just want to turn the TV off, you want to spend some time with your kids, and they're into cars, and you like Legos, go buy. It's like some of the kits are only like $29.95. What's $29.95? You spend the day putting a little kit together with your son or your daughter if they're into Lego cars.
My grandson's into it. He knows a lot more about it than I do.
I'm telling you, it's money well spent and time that you can't get back. Whether you know what that is yet or not, you will learn. I'm quickly learning as mine grow up. So, hey, I got a listener's little tidbit coming on text that I copied this morning. It came to me and said, "Hey, Dave, has a car color ever made you want to buy the car? More like just the name itself, Marco in Norfolk." So
that's a great question.
I don't think I've ever wanted a. I mean, I don't think a car color's ever made me go, "Ooh, I got to have that car." I don't think so.
Hasn't for me,
and
no.
not the name color either. Now I know what I think this question alludes to is within the last 2 years, crazy colors they have these crazy colors on cars and they have weird names. And so I looked it up when I got this text right before I left to come to the studio, and there is a lot of new crazy names that are starting to come out there too, which is kind of interesting. Like I didn't know, I see it everywhere, and I'm sure you guys have too on the little Kia square truck that they have. They do it in that bright green. I've seen a couple of them run around town, but the actual name of that color is Alien 2 is the name of the color. And I guess it reminds me of the color that was Toy Stories, the aliens in Toy Stories. It's something similar to that color. It's not exact, but it's similar to that color.
I've never seen a car in my favorite color.
What's your favorite color?
Plaid.
No, it's not, is it? No, it's not. That's not even a color. Hello,
I couldn't resist.
my name's Billy, and my favorite color's clear. No. You know what? I don't know if I have a favorite color car. My favorite color is royal blue. Is my favorite color. It has been forever. I love the color.
I like
royal
blue. I can't really tell the different shades, but
Royal blue has a little bit of a purple in it, a purple mixed into the blue. So it has it's been my favorite color forever. I don't know if I'd want it on a car, though. I love that color. I'm just not sure if I'd want that color on a car.
and why is that?
I think it's a really cool color. I just don't know if it would transfer into a cool car color. You know what I mean? Like, there's some, I like black, and everybody's given me, crap about it for years about black, but I like a black car. It takes a lot of dedication. Anybody out there knows that's in a sports car or any kind of car that has a black car, and you're a car person like I am, you know what kind of dedication it takes to keep a nice black vehicle. It's a lot of work. Every black vehicle I've had got washed and waxed usually once a week. I mean, it's the dedication it takes to keep it looking nice.
Yeah, I like black. I've never had a black car, but I like them.
I love silver. I think silver's great on a car. It's a really cool color. That's what's on the Trans Am is silver. So I don't know if I really have a favorite that color would make me buy the car, though. I don't think there is. And there's some, like I said, there's some crazy names out there. Some of the names I looked up this morning was Yellow Jacket is one of Dodge's names. That's the name.
Is that the color of a Yellow Jacket? Is that what that's supposed to be?
I think that's supposed to be one of their yellow cars. Most likely, that's probably going to be like on a Charger or Challenger.
That's a bright
or something
yellow.
Like that. Another one that was a Dodge thing was White Knuckle. Was a weird one. That was the name of their color. White knuckle. Yeah, the whites of your knuckle. I guess it's supposed to mean powerful, or I don't know. It's interesting.
Off-white.
But that name color wouldn't make me go buy a car.
No.
I'd be like, I'm going to buy the white knuckle. I always thought, as far as the Challengers, the white with the blue racing stripes was one of the better paint jobs on the Challengers. It stands out. And I think that is a Koglowski edition or something like that, I think is what they call that. But it's cool. It's a cool color.
Man, a color of a car has never stopped me from buying one if I wanted the car. I mean, I've bought cars in colors I didn't care for. White.
You don't like white? I love white.
I've had 2 or 3. Actually, I bought one, and I had 2 different company cars over the years. They were white, and it's just not a color I would pick.
My truck, have you seen it? It looks nice and white.
Yeah, but if you don't wash it for a year, it looks kind of nasty. But
Are you trying to say you wash your car once a year?
when I had a white one,
I washed my truck twice this week. I did it twice.
both times by hand.
No, I didn't automate it. But yeah, I washed it twice because it got dirty. I told you, I don't like dirty vehicles. I can't
Wash that car once a week and replace those windshield wipers.
I washed it twice. I went through the automated and the windshield wipers. I realized you just literally were trying to gig me by saying wipers.
That's it. I remember.
Here's an interesting fact. Do you guys, so you know that cars have add-ons and stuff like that besides color. Oh yeah, by the way, if I was, and we talked about this, I think it was got to be a couple years ago. If I was to name a color, do you remember what my color would have been?
No.
You don't remember I named my color?
I cannot think that far back.
Snot Rocket Green. That would be the.
I remember now.
I'm
visualizing.
That would be the color that I would name. I would have the car green and name it Snot Rocket.
That's the color of a pop bottle, not a car.
I think it's a cool color. Hey, just tell me what you guys think. If you can come up with something more clever, absolutely let me know. If you call in, email, text. A lot of emails and texts lately, but yeah, send it to me. I don't care how you get it to me, but get it to me. If you can think of a more clever color, tell me. But I just think that'd be a funny name and a cool color.
It needs to be a more palatable description.
I don't think palatable is the right description for that at all, considering the topic.
Think about it.
No, I did think about it. I didn't need to. That's pretty gross. In the Challenger, did you know that? Well, I told you that before, that the seats are optional. So passenger and rear seat are optional in that car.
No,
for the Demon package and stuff like that. You can opt not to have the seats in the car. You want to know what the cost is to add the seats if you want them?
I'm afraid to hear.
Now, this was shocking. This will shock you.
10 grand?
No. Cameron, any guesses?
I'm going to say low, like 1,000.
No. $1. That's the difference of having the seat delete or not. The seat costs you $1. It's
doesn't make
$1
any
for the
sense.
passenger seat. It's $1 for the back seat. It is. When you're purchasing the car,
That's a stunt.
that's the difference. It's $1. I mean, so it was funny because I was reading an article and it says even if you don't want the back seat and you don't want the passenger front seat, buy them anyway and put them, get them anyway for $1. Take them out of the car and put them on eBay and sell them and make some money. I mean, at $1, you can't go wrong at that price.
No, you can't.
I thought that was weird. It was just a little thing I came across, and I was just like, $1. It's $1 for the passenger
I
seat.
wonder who came up with that way of pricing.
I guess because you're basically paying for it regardless.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
So they figure, just say it's $1. Well, we're talking about it, so it worked. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Stranger things have happened. So here's something we talked about, I want to say about 2 years ago or so. It came up, and it's come back up again. Remember when we were talking about cars sensing your mood? Mm-hmm. And how technology, and if you guys don't know what I was talking about, technology, they were working on technology to go inside your car that could detect if you were having a good day or a bad day. And then they were deciding exactly what they were going to do about that if the car detects you're having a bad day. One of the options they looked at was it would start a conversation with you and remind you of memories of good things. And now if you ask me how it knows your memories, because the car is constantly recording and processing information in the car. You remember that conversation, right?
I do.
So basically what it is the technology is set up where as you drive your car, it's constantly listening to everything that you say. And it's an AI, so with artificial intelligence, it can actually go and search on the web on its own of what you're talking about and gain knowledge of the conversation it's heard you had. So next time when you're having a bad day, it can engage in a conversation with you as you're driving down the road to make you feel better. It will remind you of trips you've taken, memories of events you've attended, and stuff like that would make you feel better if it feels that you're having a bad day.
That's neat, but it's also kind of scary.
It's very, very scary. So now, this week, they're showing some of that technology actually has now started to come to life. And one of it is there's sensors in the steering wheel. So while you're holding the steering wheel, it's reading your heartbeat and it knows if it's elevated and it feels like that you're having a stressful day or whatever. It will dim the lights on the car and pick a song out of a playlist of soothing music to play to calm you down automatically on its own. Now, look, guys, we've talked about all the different automation that's going into cars, but that's some pretty creepy stuff. It doesn't get any creepier than that.
Yeah, you're cruising down the highway, and all of a sudden, like Alexa just starts laughing at you.
Well, so here's the thing. This is twofold. Remember when I talked about home and cars being connected? Mm-hmm. That's part of it, because if you start having home and car, it can record more conversations as you're talking to find more information to have conversations with you about.
It's a little bit scary.
It is. I don't know if it's scary or if it's neat. I'm not sure.
I think it's neat. The premise is neat, but it's scary because who has access to all that information?
That's who's listening is what I want to
Yeah.
know. Who's really listening? You were going to say, Cameron?
I want to know what song would it play. You're having a bad day?
Bad day. Yeah. That would be a good song. That would be a good song to play. But I mean, this is real technology, and I don't know why. Because last time we talked about this, I got a bunch of text message emails. People were asking me what would be the purpose of inventing this technology. And it's no different as far as I'm concerned of every time the new cell phone comes out, you guys rush out to go get it. That's never going to stop. So if you invent this technology in a car, people are going to want to have it. They don't know why. They just want it to say that they have it. No, you don't know what makes you run out to go get that new cell phone. I don't, because I don't go do it. I still got an old one. But
well, this whole AI thing, it's spreading like a virus. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely like a huge, huge virus. But the fact that the car is listening to your conversations and now the home is going to listen to your conversations, so it can go and do research on its own while you're sleeping of what you were talking about, so it can engage in conversations with you, is just absolutely nuts.
So if you had a fight with your wife that morning on the way home, it's going to remind you to stop and pick up some
flowers. No, seriously. Oh, I got to go to commercial break. I'm not done with this, but I hold on, guys. Y'all come back. You're going to love it. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949, residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, here's a pound of prevention from your Napa Auto Care Center. We'll customize a preventive maintenance package for your vehicle that will save you time, money, and hassles now and down the road. We'll ask, do you drive mainly in the city or on the highway? Plan to keep your vehicle? How long? And more. Preventive maintenance is a good thing that prevents bad things. Build yours at your Napa Auto Care Center today.
Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Do you currently have a repair shop you trust? Haven't found the time to go to a garage for all your automotive needs? Check out the all-star team at Napa BDGHRVA.com. That's Napa BDGHRVA.com. Let them show you what it's like to work with the professionals and make a friend along the way. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pilach from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Palach.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Palach. And before we went to commercial break, we were talking about the different things that your car is going to be able to do for you on an emotional level. So Larry had alluded to, he's like, if you get into a fight with your wife, the car will hear the conversation, or the house will hear the conversation. They'll share the information and remind you to buy flowers on the way home. You laugh, but that's kind of the direction that you're heading in. And I'll give you an example. One of the features that they're working on is if you're driving and the car senses you may be a little bit underneath the weather, you have a cough or anything like that, it'll make suggestions for you to go and see a doctor. And not only will it do that, but it will have the capability it could possibly call the doctor and set the appointment for you. It will remind you of meetings that you've set up. So if you have meetings throughout the week, the car will just chime in as you're driving and go, don't forget, you got a meeting on Tuesday at so-and-so with such and such. Oh, by the way, he likes chocolates. You might want to bring him some. You know what I mean? Like, this is real stuff.
Is there a danger of that making us more weak-minded?
I would think so. I mean,
if something's doing everything for you, you don't have to put any effort out.
What happens if you pass gas in the car? What's the car going to do?
It dispenses deodorizer.
Well, if it's a Tesla, it's got biohazard cleansing in it that takes any gases out of the car. Oh, this is, I don't know, man. It's getting weirder as time goes on. It really, really is. Weirder and scarier at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I like the technology advance, but some of this stuff is like, that's kind of weird. You know, who else? If a speaker can listen to you, who knows who has got access to that information?
Well, I told you when I went looking at houses that people had their Alexa and stuff like that set up with video and the speaker on. So, I learned quickly that they could literally listen to us and watch us as we were looking through the home and see what we thought of the house.
Ask Alexa questions. Hey, Alexa, how many square feet in this room?
But they were using the system basically to listen to what we were saying as we walked through their house, because they're not allowed to be in the house when you look at it.
I wouldn't like that.
It was funny because my agent was pointing out to me. He was like, he'd point in the corner. He wouldn't say anything. He would just point to let me know that it was there. So, yeah, it's kind of different. Oh, moving on. So, here it's kind of, this rolls right into the next story. I had talked many times about, there's a couple reporters out there that just bash autonomous vehicles, anonymous vehicles, self-driving vehicles, vehicles that drive themselves, vehicles without a driver in the driver's seat. Did I get it all?
Is that list getting longer?
It is, because people keep on inventing new ones. So, and you hear me that I've gone back and forth, and I've never mentioned them by name, but I know who they are, and they just testify to the fact that autonomous vehicles are never coming. It's just never going to come. They're so far away. I don't know what people are talking about.
I think they're wrong with that one.
Okay. And we've talked about this a couple of different times, many times. I'm not going to say a couple, many times on this show. So, and the thing about it is, you get in debates back and forth, and, they've said over and over again, I'm kind of reading some of the notes of things they've said this week, and it's funny because they say, every time they talk about it, they say many, many, many years ago. First of all, I'm going to say you only had to say many one time. It's redundant to say it a whole bunch of times over
Emphasis.
and over again. Yeah, I don't think that's even what that is. And like I said, you've heard me say every time they have a new reason why it's never going to work. And what is my response to that? Every time they come up with a reason why it isn't going to work, the next day,
you hear about the solution was solved.
The solution was solved, okay? So this is what I have to say to those people as of now this new week. So there's a company that has the new semi-trucks. The name of the company is a startup company, and it's Starsea Robotics, and they were testing one of their trucks this week without drivers and driving, and it lost communication, which is one of the questions that you had asked me before. What happens if the truck is set on a route, or the car, or whatever it is, has a route, and it's getting this information, let's say from a satellite or whatever, and it drops communication, then what? Well, the answer was given this week during the test. It's actually happened to one of the semi-trucks, the driverless semi-trucks they were testing. It basically just come to a stop in the middle of the highway. It just lost connection, slowed itself down, and brought itself to a stop. Now it's blocking traffic, but it knew its safety protocol actually worked. It just stopped itself.
I don't know if that's very safe. Suppose you're on the interstate.
They're able to refire it up. I mean, the truck's just it's not get slammed on the brakes. It just brought itself to a slow stop. And then once they realized they were alerted the truck come to a stop, so they went ahead and just refired it up, remade a connection. And I'm sure it went on down the road normal, but that just
does it say recalculating?
I don't recalculating. So, like I said, I mean that just goes. So that's the first thing. My second rebuttal this week is, and I'm sure you'll give me another reason, for those of you who've said, I don't call you out by name because I just choose not to, that it's many, many, many years away. As of April 2nd in California, cars will be driving, are allowed to legally with permits drive without a driver in the driver's seat.
And I wonder what it takes to get the permit for that.
I don't know, but that doesn't seem many years away to me.
And who holds the permit, you or the car?
Well, here's the thing. We talk about that. If the car gets in an accident, you're liable because it's your car. Yeah. It's just what it's going to be.
It's your property.
Right. It's your property. You're going to be liable. So for those naysayers that say that we're nowhere close and it's going to be decades before this technology's on the road, you're wrong. You're really wrong. And like I said, you've heard me say, people aren't dropping millions and billions of dollars in this technology because it isn't coming.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So, a call. Yeah. So, anyway, moving on. I got another one. I was talking with Cameron about it this morning. You want to see a really cool picture? I know you're going to want to write this down. A guy took a picture of his 2010 Challenger during a stormy day. He snapped a picture And while he was snapping the picture, a lightning bolt strikes behind the car and he catches it. It's made for a really cool picture. One of the listeners actually sent me this. It comes from one of our other news agencies, so I can't take credit for the story. But he forwarded me the story and sent me the picture and showed it to me. And
it looks like it's striking the car?
It's striking in the background of the car.
But does it look like it's striking the car?
You have to see it. You can tell it's in the background, but it's kind of cool. Because it's a silver Challenger. And the lightning bolt's nice and bright, so it just comes right in the background, and there's nice storm clouds. If you guys want to go see the picture, I will actually post it later on today. I'll get it on there for you. And if you can't wait that long, just go to Dodge Challenger Lightning Strike is how it was titled for me, and you can actually check it out. It's actually a really neat picture. You've heard me talk before. I love people that take pictures of their car, and when they get a really cool picture like that just by accident, it's actually really neat. And Cameron's holding the picture up for you right there, Larry. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah, that's a cool
That
picture.
was a lucky shot.
Yeah, it was a lucky shot, but a very cool lucky shot. So here's another weird one for you. How about moss tires?
Like moss?
Like moss.
Like
growing
vegetable
moss.
moss?
Yeah, like moss.
Tires.
Yes. So Goodyear has invented a tire that has moss in the sidewalls, and when you drive, it produces oxygen. I love radio. Here's the best thing about radio, guys. I know you can see me on video too, but the best thing about radio for you guys that aren't watching this on video is when I say something and I completely stump Larry for a second and the mics just go completely quiet. And that's not because we ran out of things to say. That's because Larry just gives me this look like, are you kidding me?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Moss tires. Do you mow them? Do you clip them? What do you?
Is the tread still rubber?
It's got rubber, but it's rubber, recycled rubber out of recycled tires mixed with moss, and when you drive, it produces oxygen.
I don't see structurally how that could hold up in that environment.
It's a
with
weird looking tire. If you see the tire itself, it's a weird looking tire.
Is it brown?
No, it's black, but it's weird looking.
Moss is like kind of greenish brown, isn't it? Or I guess
Remember those
green
tires?
if it's alive.
Those tires I showed you that were round and they had like little square octagons or whatever they are, stacked together to form the inside of the tire. It kind of looks like one of those.
Okay.
Go look it up if you want to check it out. It's moss tires.
And what is, other than it creates oxygen, what's the other benefit? Is there any?
Well, it's made out of recyclables. I don't know if you need.
I would think and it's probably pricey.
Oh, I'm sure, because it's pricey to go green.
So you want you want more than just one benefit if you're going to shell out the money for that.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I would.
I don't see myself buying it. I'm still for the tires that will leave a cool mark on the ground when I spin them. We talked about
And make
that.
lots of noise.
And noise, maybe a little bit of smoke. Those are the tires that impress me. Hey, do you guys remember when I told you that Hitler's car was going up for auction?
I do.
It didn't sell. Now, here's the crazy thing. Now, I told you I wouldn't buy it. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't buy it. It's just too much cloud around it. I wouldn't want to own that car.
I just figure it's going to end up in a museum somewhere.
That's what you said. It went up for sale. Any guess the money that was turned down for it? What do you think the highest price went on? And they still didn't accept it. The car did not sell.
$10 million.
Would you say $1,000?
$100.
No, it's
guess-
Hitler's. There's history to it. I just wouldn't want to own the car.
I would guess $10 million.
You're close. You're close. You're not real close, but you're close. The highest bid was $7 million, and they didn't sell the car. But the car has been seen recently being driven around.
Who currently owns it?
I don't know. I tried to look to see who actually owns it, and it doesn't say who actually owns the
So
car. And there's
somebody
probably a reason for that.
Somebody had to turn a $7 million bid down.
Yeah, they did. They did. When I looked at the article, it doesn't. Both articles, the first article I told you, when it told me it was going up for bid, did not reference who owned it. And the article talking this week about them actually turning down the stuff did not reference who owned it.
They probably want to remain anonymous for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons,
Yeah.
I would imagine. Like I said, I understand the nostalgic part of it. I just personally wouldn't.
But still, that something like that's just destined for a museum.
The safest place for it, I think, would be a museum. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of emotion that ties to things like that. So, I don't know. I got another cool one for you, but I got to take a commercial break. So when we come back, we're going to talk about digital lights. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to stay tuned to find out. Talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA.
Hey guys, Dave Pillotch from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow and Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow and Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow and Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow and Sons Incorporated.
Okay, your week is crazy. Your local Napa Auto Care Center understands. That's why we're open Saturdays for your convenience. Get that oil change you've been putting off way too long. Be done with those squeaky brakes that are on your last nerve. We get it. Our Napa Auto Care Center is open Saturday when you maybe don't have soccer, dance class, a late meeting at work, you name it. Call for a Saturday appointment now.
Hey guys, Dave Pillotch from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of trying all the wrong auto shops and never leaving feeling that satisfied experience? Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG HRVA group, has the answer for you. Friendly, reliable teams assembled for all your automotive needs. Find your local auto center today at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Pillotch.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pillotch. So if you guys were hanging out with us in this last segment, I was getting ready to tell you guys about digital lights. So what does that mean? Headlights that actually shine and supposed to do their job, but they also shoot an image out in front of the vehicle. So like the picture, the media picture is a snowflake. So the headlights shine out, and then in front of the car, there's a floating snowflake in front of the car. But they say there'll be a lot of different images to choose from.
I'm trying to think of a use for that, and I can't think of anything quick.
Cool or fool?
I guess it's you know what? It's something that would wear off after a short period of time.
Well, I agree with that, because do you remember the side lights that cars came out with about 4 years ago? They were doing halos that shut out from underneath the car, like the Ford symbol would be on the side of the doors when you opened it up and stuff like that.
I do.
That kind of came and went pretty quickly. You don't see a whole lot.
It was a fad.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is dumb. I'm sorry. It's just I don't care. And it's the thing about it is the car I see in the media release is actually it's on a Mercedes.
It could replace your hazard flashers, and it would be like a red and yellow light that would flash. That instead of putting your flashes on, have that in front of your car,
like a disco.
Yeah.
I have to say disco because I just totally see you like in the disco era doing.
Oh, little mirror ball just spinning around in front of your car.
No. Here's a funny one for you. You'll like this one. A man drives a stolen car to court to defend his case for a stolen vehicle.
And he drove there in the evidence.
No, in another stolen vehicle. So he was caught with a stolen vehicle, had a court date, stole a car, and drove himself to his court date.
No Uber for him.
So here's how he gets caught. Check this out. What's the new thing they're doing? Running license plates.
Yeah.
Remember we talked
Yeah.
about it, just randomly scanning license plates. So they were going through the parking lot. They scan this gentleman's license plate of the car he was driving. They see the car stolen, so they just park with a police car and wait for it to come out, see who's driving it. And here comes the guy that just came out of court for a stolen car and gets in another stolen car.
They might want to make a habit of that. I could see a lot of unsavory things parked at the courthouse.
You know, you got to be all kinds of stupid, man. I don't even know other way to put it. You got to be all kinds of stupid. I mean, it's just. I'm sure you're going through tough times, and we wish you the best. Moving on. Oh, connected cars are real. That was one of the stories that come up this week, and we were talking about it. So
Connected cars. That's what you mean by the artificial intelligence and.
Yep.
right.
So they say by 2020 is when we're going to see some of this newest technology come out. So we'll see what it's crazy, man.
That's less than 2 years away.
It is.
2020 will be here for you know it.
It is. It is. Here's one that's kind of cool. 30 tons of beer spill out on a Florida highway when a beer truck turns over and dumps its load all over the highway. There's a picture of it online if you want to take a look at it. And it's Busch beer. Don't get excited.
Well, that would have to
Wasn't that premium stuff?
have to be a total loss.
It was
A lot
funny.
of drunk insects.
It was funny. So I saw the article and then I saw people that had people went through and had commented. It was like a couple of weeks before spring break. You know what I mean? Why couldn't it have been during spring break and all that kind of stuff that I thought was kind of funny. And my response was it was Busch beer. Nobody was running to get it.
What are you going to do? Grab a cup and go out and dip it up?
Well, no, it's in cans. I mean, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
tons of
You know
cans.
what? In my mental picture was like a truck with that amount of beer.
No, beer cans.
Okay.
Cans and bottles, I guess.
That
Mostly you
changes
see
it.
cans in the picture.
That changes the story.
Well, I told you when I was a kid, the 7-Up truck went around the corner right by my house with its doors open. I guess the guy forgot to close the doors. Remember the roll-up doors on the trailers?
Yeah.
Went around the corner and dumped probably about 200 cases of 7-Up and assorted, so whatever 7-Up was selling, whatever that truck was carrying at that time, right there in the intersection. And it was just as we got out of school, and I was in middle school at the time. And like it was a free for all. I mean, like kids were like standing in the middle of the street in traffic, like scooping up as much as they could take.
Would have been heaven for me. I love 7-Up.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was kind of cool. You know, it was right there. It was in Vegas when I lived in Vegas, and it was at Washington and Decatur, the corner of Washington and Decatur, right there at the 7-Eleven, right in front of the 7-Eleven.
I wonder if the poor truck driver had to eat that.
I don't know. You would think it would be insured. He probably ate it by losing his job.
Well,
But, I mean, maybe that's not the eat it you're talking about. I don't know.
no, that's exactly it. There's a loss there. Who's going to cover the loss?
Here's another cool one that people don't think is cool. Houston is not the only person that's doing this, by the way. I know the story came out for Houston, just so you guys know. The media release was to me to show the picture. Houston disguises their police cars as taxi cabs in the back and a police car in the front. So the whole back of the car is painted like a taxi cab, and it says taxi and everything on the back. And the front of it is a police car.
What is the purpose of that?
They say the purpose was for drunk driver awareness. They're trying to promote, don't drink and drive, take a cab. So, but they painted their cars half and half. The back half of the car is a taxi cab. It's taxi cab yellow, and it says taxi on it. And the front of it is the black and white, like looking police car with the police on the front of it.
I don't understand what that accomplishes. I mean, so if you're drunk and you see the back parts painted like a taxi cab, you're going to go up and bang on the one. I need a ride.
Right. And they're just going to, they're like, we'll give you a ride. All right. That's what I thought when I saw it. Actually, it's the exact same thing I thought when I saw it. But it's actually, they're trying to promote, don't drive. And it went horribly wrong. People are mad. They're like, oh, they're just, and here's the cool. So I saw a video right after I get this media release and I see this. I get this video of a guy who's basically right, almost like the off-ramp where Witchduck Road is, where you come around, you have to merge right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and there's a white pickup truck just sitting there, and traffic has got them blocked, and there's cars behind the car that's filming, just honking their horn. All of a sudden, this Altima shoots out around traffic, goes in the emergency lane, goes flying by them all, cuts traffic off. And all of a sudden, roop, roop, the white pickup truck was an undercover police officer in the white pickup truck, lights him up and gives him a ticket, which is funny as can be.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
But that's what reminded me of it. Like, I can imagine how many people will be behind this thing thinking it's a cab, and they'll start honking at it and doing stupid stuff, and it'll end up being a police car.
Yeah, yelling out the window.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of cool. And like I said, Houston's not the only ones doing it. There's somebody sent me a picture when I mentioned on it, and somebody actually sent me a picture. There was one in like Indiana, and there was some in some other states. Somebody told me there's a bunch of them in Canada too. So I don't know, kind of different.
Somebody's got imagination.
Is that what that is?
It's the only thing I can chalk it up to.
Imagination?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things. Here is the last story of the day. This is becoming a trend, and I never thought we'd ever talk about this being a trend because it's just the strangest thing. Drinking and Ubering, okay, it's become, and I think that was the design for it, was so you could Uber yourself home maybe. I don't know if that's the initial, that's what people use it for. People, if they're going to go out drinking, they Uber, which is great because they're not drinking and driving. But now the trend has become drinking and Ubering where people are like passing out in the car and the Uber driver can't get them out of the car. You know what I mean? Or they get in the car and they don't have the right address. They can't figure out what to do with this guy and he's stuck in their car.
Oh, man.
So here's the funniest one yet. This was last week, if you guys follow a lot of different news stations like I do and stuff. But it came into me last week and I wanted to hold it and then talk about it this week. A guy was actually on business in West Virginia, got drunk while he was out, called him an Uber to go back to his hotel, but accidentally put his home address. It did his home address. He lives in New Jersey.
Don't tell me the guy drove him to New Jersey.
The guy drove him to New Jersey. He woke up like 3 or 4 hours into the trip because he was just passed out drunk in the Uber. So the guy just started driving to New Jersey with him in the car. $1,630 some odd is what the bill came to drive him to New Jersey.
Did he stop him before he got home?
Well, no. By the time he woke up, they were like 3 or 4 hours into the trip.
Yeah.
So I guess he just took him home. I guess the guy was probably too drunk to really realize what was going on, but he took him home. And that guy took care of the ride. He took him where he said he was going to take him.
Man, that's...
So the moral of the story is, guys, before you drink an Uber, you might want to make sure the settings and the buttons that you're pushing on your phone isn't taking you back home.
Pin your address on your
coat. Because apparently the Uber driver will take you. Well, think of it. Well, you probably had a couple $100 in gas. Well, $1,600 ride for him.
That's what he's there for. Where do you want to go? Here.
Well, I don't think it was here. I was home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guys like, okay.
So how do you know where the home address was? You get his license out?
When you on Uber, it's the pickup location and your drop-off location in Uber is what it is. And you just hit okay, and the guy already has where you need to be picked up and where you're going to when it comes to him.
So when he called for the ride, he'd already put his home address in New Jersey.
A lot of times it defaults.
Yeah.
Because that's the last time you use it. It defaults to that address, whatever the last address is.
You know, maybe drinking and Ubering aren't too good together. Huh?
No, it must not be that good. Really, it is.
At least he didn't live in L.A.
But could you imagine that you're in West Virginia and the guy, especially if you're like one of those, I mean, everybody's seen, you've had like those drop dead drunks who just passed out and they don't wake up for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like 10 hours into the drive, you wake up and you're like in the middle of Midland, Texas somewhere, you know what I mean? On your way back to L.A.
Where are we at?
We're right about an hour in Texas. We're still about 10 hours out.
I'm not home yet. It's daylight.
Right. I couldn't, holy cow, that would be crazy. But just think about it when you start getting the drones that fly you.
Yeah, because that'll go a lot faster.
Yeah. I was just like, holy cow. But as I looked it up, there's stories of this everywhere. It's just becoming like a trend where these people get in, they're drunk and they tap the button and it takes them every place other than where they want to go.
I saw a story the other day where I found out if you throw up in one of those cars, it's $200 cleaning fee.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
This lady was telling, this lady was sick. It was a video I saw. And she turns around and she says, if you throw up in here, there's a $200 cleaning fee.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now. It's radio. You're not going to like it. If you throw up in my car, there's a good chance I probably will throw up on you. I can't, like, I can't handle it. Like, I will probably throw up on you. It's like in the movies, they get that exact, reflecting.
It's a smell trigger.
It's a something trigger for me. I had a time somebody gets sick around me. I'm like, don't get, don't get sick. Don't get sick around me. I'm like, I will get sick on you. I had that conversation more times than I probably ever should have had.
I think she was letting the lady know, open the door and get out.
Oh, God.
Don't do it in here.
That's gross. Anyway, we're going to leave you guys on that gross note. It is a Saturday, so enjoy your Saturday. There is actually a car show. I don't know if it's still going on, but if you guys want to take your kid to a car show on a Saturday, over at Military Circle, there's a car show going on over there. I think they're there till 4, and there's another one later on tonight out off of Battlefield somewhere. So if you guys want to go to a car show, go check it out. Sunday's right around the corner. As I tell you all the time, turn off your TV, spend some time with your kids. They'll love you for it. Take them to a car show. We are out of here, and we'll talk to you soon.